down, still clean up.
These are the Hickory Hounds, news and views.
Before we dive into today's headlines, let me give you the signal behind the stories. Over the past few months, I've been documenting a reality that many small towns feel, but few know how to explain: the slow, grinding erosion of the American middle class. Since last week, I've been releasing a new series called Faces of the Shrinking Center. You'll find links to those pieces at the bottom of the page. These vignettes are based on data, but they're told through people. They're character-driven snapshots of a system that no longer rewards effort, resilience, or loyalty. You'll recognize the faces: the lifers, the ghosts, the aspiring creators, the institutional holdouts. Now today's report is different. It isn't just a narrative, it's confirmation. The evidence is there if you can get to it. 5 national news outlets, Wall Street Journal, Forbes, Bloomberg, Reuters, and the New York Times, have all just published stories that back up what I've been writing about the past 2 months. Those posts draw directly from 2 forthcoming books: The Foothills Corridor and The Shrinking Center. You may not be able to access these articles because they're behind paywalls that block most of them unless you've hit the library. But the pattern is undeniable: youth outmigration, infrastructure failure, superficial downtowns, a middle class in freefall. If you're new here, welcome. If you've been here since the beginning, this one's for you. Let's get into the signal.
This is Rachel A.I. for the Hickory Hound. It's Saturday, May 10th, 2025. Big cities across America are physically sinking, and Charlotte, the regional giant of western North Carolina, is on the list. A new study shows 28 U.S. metro areas are experiencing ground-level decline. Houston is dropping the fastest. San Antonio faces the greatest structural risk. The causes include groundwater overuse, heavy urban infrastructure, and poor land management. The consequences: increased flood risk, infrastructure damage, and a growing sense of instability. While headlines focus on climate and catastrophe, the deeper issue is systemic: policy failures, lack of planning, and weak leadership. These converging risks echo across western North Carolina, where economic foundations have already fractured before. Commander Shell's 2 forthcoming books, The Foothills Corridor and The Shrinking Center, explore how deindustrialization dismantled the region's middle-class base and what it will take to rebuild it. The message is consistent: true renewal cannot be cosmetic. It must be structural, rooted in infrastructure, broadband, workforce development, and scalable industries. In the past 2 weeks, 5 national publications, The Wall Street Journal, Forbes, Bloomberg, Reuters, and The New York Times, have released articles that confirm what's been reported here for years. Each one highlights a different piece of the story laid out in The Foothills Corridor and The Shrinking Center. A Wall Street Journal article: Rural America is losing young people. Can it recover? Reports that young people are leaving rural regions in large numbers. That supports the documented trend of youth outmigration across western North Carolina, where the median age continues to rise and civic infrastructure continues to thin. A Forbes article, Broadband Expansion Fuels Economic Growth in Rural South, points to broadband as a primary driver of economic growth in the rural South. That aligns with repeated calls from this platform to treat fiber infrastructure as essential, not optional. In places like Hickory, it's not just a matter of convenience, it's a matter of survival. A Bloomberg article, Small Cities Bet on Downtown Revival to Stem Decline, celebrates downtown revitalization efforts in small cities. But as covered in the Foothills Corridor, surface-level improvements mean little without economic anchors beneath them. Hickory's own $40 million beautification effort serves as a case in point. Attractive, but fragile. A Reuters article, Manufacturing Rebound in the South Faces Labor Challenges, confirms that advanced manufacturing is returning to the South, but that employers are struggling to find skilled workers. This mirrors what's been said here repeatedly. Losing jobs is one thing, losing the knowledge base is something else entirely. Finally, a New York Times article, Middle Class Squeeze, Why Small-Town America is Falling Behind, outlines how the middle class continues to shrink nationwide. The pattern matches what's been documented locally: disappearing wage growth, vanishing security, and a civic system that no longer rewards long-term participation. These national stories don't just echo the arguments made on this channel, they validate them. And for those who've followed the Hickory Hound since the beginning, they offer something more: proof.
What you just heard isn't a revelation, it's a confirmation. The story hasn't changed, but the silence around it is getting harder to maintain. What the old media is publishing behind paywalls, I want you to have access to. I'm not here to tell you what's already on your TV. I'm here to provide information that has value. Not every investment is about money. Sometimes it's about time, talent, energy, and attention. The Hound Signal is here to connect the dots and to show that the dots have always been there. If you made it this far, share this. Not for attention, but because a lot of people feel something before the presence is fully realized. We'll resume Faces of the Shrinking Center archetype vignettes this week. There's a lot happening with the new Substack channel, the Hound Signal. The Hickory Hound will remain the local journal. Substack will be a broader view, regional, state, and national. I hope you'll follow both. Each has its place in the bigger picture. This is James Thomas Shell. Stay sharp and stay grounded, and stay tuned for more Hickory Hound.